And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another week, another edition of the KFC, the Kung Fu Cup, number 5 StarCraft Evolution Edition. Your bi-weekly dose of StarCraft Evolution content. Here we go. We were just live a couple of days ago catching up with the 4th edition. Now we're here with the 5th. I'm of course your live VIP. With me I'm joined by these amazing players of the Who Stats and by my plushies as well. Welcome one and all to the final catch-up stream of Kung Fu Cup. In a way. For those that are curious, this week, this is a Wednesday, every Wednesday there is a Kung Fu Cup. This week's Wednesday edition of Kung Fu Cup was actually a Warcraft 3 edition, Warcraft 3 Evolution, not StarCraft Evolution. So we do have to catch up on that. We're going to be catching up on that next week. But this is the final catch-up stream of the StarCraft Evolution editions of KFC. Oh boy, here we go. For those that are curious, these are matches that played out last week. At the time, we were otherwise preoccupied covering another event, covering the Rex March Madness. The Rex March Madness was, of course, also on Wednesdays, also overlapping with Kung Fu Cup, so we weren't able to cover both at the same time. Instead, we did prioritize Rex March Madness. Now we're catching up on some KFC instead. We're here. We are ready. And we have our first round. For those that are just now tuning in, we always have some people maybe stumbling upon this for the first time and curious as to what is going on. Why are there Dragoons? Why are there Firebats? Why are there Corsairs and Valkyries? What's happening? Oh my god. Well, this is StarCraft Evolution. This is a mod. This is a mod in StarCraft 2. The mod does actually bring together Brood War and StarCraft 2 and make them face off against each other. There's a lot of work, there's a lot of passion, a lot of love, a lot of effort put into the StarCraft Evolution mod, and again, it is all designed to port over not just brutal units and brutal mechanics, but also to balance them with SE2 as well. That's why there are a lot of regular patches to make sure if there ever is like a strategy that's a little bit too good or too strong, they are tempering that or increasing it in a way to make things as balanced as possible between Brood War and SE2. So again, very actively being patched. Currently, I believe we're getting patches basically monthly. Like we're getting basically like monthly, sometimes even more regular than that. But like typically like every like 3-ish weeks, we do see like another patch, another balance patch, I should say, more like unit model updates, as well as they slowly incorporate new unit models as well. It's amazing, it's beautiful. Again, all the support for the balancing and all support for the mod is done via Patreon as well. So there's a Patreon page to help fund the mod itself, and again, there's a lot of work put behind it as well. So much love to those working behind the scenes. Likewise, not just work on the mod, not just work on the balance, but also work on the maps as well. There are a lot of map makers that are dedicated to porting brutal maps into StarCraft Evolution. We featured that a couple of days ago, seeing Blue Shift for the first time. We saw, so that was yesterday, I should say. We saw Blue Shift. I know, sorry, not Blue Shift, that's the SE2 map. Blue Storm, so my mistake. Blue Storm is the brutal map that they ported over and will soon be added, I believe, to the SCL map pool. So I'm looking forward to it. I got a lot. The nostalgia for Blue Storm is real, so I'm looking forward to it. Likewise, I believe they're porting over Blue Storm and another map. I think there's 2 maps that right, it's like Red R or R Faction or R something. But yeah, another map is going to be ported over as well. And again, that's a lot of work being put into trying to adapt and trying to kind of emulate like the Brood War aesthetic into SC2 and add all the features and again make it as comparable as possible. So yeah, there's a lot of work, and honestly, when it comes to casting, when it comes to covering the events, it's been a lot of fun. It's been very refreshing as well. I still prefer StarCraft 2. That's still, you know, what I'm here for, and that's what we mainly cover here on the CranKy Ducklings. But at this point, I would say like maybe a quarter, if not almost up to a third, but I would say like a quarter of the broadcasts have now been dedicated to StarCraft Evolution, and it has been a lot of fun, and it's always a treat to see some of these SE2 players jump into it and also embrace and indulge and enjoy it as well. Speaking of, we have them here. Our first match of the broadcast is going to be a ZVT between Dark and BratOK. Let us go. Dark, of course, he did. This was last week. This was just before the show match. So we did host the farewell show match of Dark. But we did actually find out yesterday that Dark did play in the Supers show match over the weekend. So there was still that to go on, and we'll see when and where we get more of Dark in the upcoming future. We're getting him as much as we can while we can, papi. Let's go. So we are jumping into our first series, our first matchup. Let's go. Oh, also, yep, this shouldn't be a surprise. I should fix up the overlays here because Dark is not playing random. Dark is not playing Zerg. Dark is playing random instead. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Leylines, we have the Red Terran player. The Red Terran representing Team StarCom. It is BratOK. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the random player rolling Protoss, the brutal Protoss himself. It is, from South Korea, Dark. Oh, we're cheesing it up. This is bold. This is crazy, considering that BratOK doesn't know what he's playing against. He doesn't know what race Dark is. Despite that, he doesn't care. He sends out one, he sends out a second SCV, sends out a third SCV as well. We're going for a proxy 3 racks. No gases back at home. Mass Marine bunker rush out of BratOK. And we'll see how this compares to Dark. This is a build that is very, very much so viable against Zerg, 100%. Against Protoss, you don't really see this, so I'm curious how this unfolds and how they compare and how Dark reacts and when and if he scouts, as Dark has not probe scouted. Oh boy, that's the first big concern here, is lack of probe scout out of Dark. So Dark, he won't know that Rax is missing, he won't know to check for a proxy, he doesn't know that he's in danger right now. Uh-oh. R point, that's it. Yeah, no blue shift, blue storm. R point, that's it. I knew it was R something. Yo, shout out to Avex, big shout out. Teasing die, yeah. But again, as a reminder, Dark, he did roll random. Again, especially because Dark is kind of winding down when it comes to his professional career. He has been playing a little more random, especially in StarCraft Evolution. A little more off racing from the side of Dark. We even saw that yesterday, oh sorry, 2 days ago, when Dark did play Terran against SC Boy. Here we go. But BratOK does move forward with that initial SV. Again, Marines are amassing. Sorry, I thought it was going to be just 3 racks, but it's going to be up to 4. Ay. 4 racks is on the way. The SV does get the timing of the starport, sorry, of the Nexus, I meant to say, was of course a gate cyber expand, or sorry, gate expand cyber core out of Dark. Dark, now he scouts, a bit of a later probe scout. Now he knows, hold up, something is wrong. No gases. He sees no gases, he sees no racks. Now he knows 100% that it is going to be proxy raxes, and we'll see how he responds. There we go, shield battery in the main mineral line. We have the gateway on the way. Dark should be ready to cancel. That Nexus will not help. The minerals will assist though when it comes to trying to throw down static defense, and the Marines have arrived. Dark, he's going to pull the boys. We'll see if he can buy some time. The Dragoon is almost done. Dragoon is all the way. There we go. Second shield battery gets thrown down behind the mineral line. So far, the first shield battery putting in a lot of work. There we go. More shield batteries on the way. Marines are trying to focus on some of the probes, but again, the shield battery putting in a lot of work here. One probe finally goes down. Just the one worker so far. Now going for the pylon. And the bunker's a little bit too far back here. The Marines not really being assisted by it. There we go. Now we have a backup bunker being thrown down next to the mineral line. That's going to be how many 2 Marines going down so far. The boys, where they being killed? Let's go. Oh, the boys are going for a dive. They will try to deny the bunker. They buy more time. Shield batteries are done. And Dark, the shield batteries are done. The Dragoons, they stand their ground. They deny the bunker. They go head to head here with the Marines. Shield batteries are about to run out of energy. They're about to run out. Gee, they have so much energy. Oh my god. I'm not used to seeing shield batteries last this long. And with that, Dark, he's holding. He did cancel the Nexus, again for those excess minerals, did lose 7 probes. He's holding the line, meanwhile the Marine kind of still looking quite solid here. I say that 2 more Marines go down, starts stepping in, gets 1 probe. Yeah, getting more worker kills, not bad, getting up to 9 probes. But now we're to 3 Dragoons, soon to be 4, soon to be 5 Dragoons. And Dragoon range is almost done. So just a really cool, calm and collected defense here from Dark. He didn't overreact, didn't over-respond. He pulled the boys like once to deny the bunker, but that's it. Once the bunker was denied, I mean, he's safe. And once range finishes, he can deal with the bunker. Oh, the boys! the boys are here. The boys have been pulled. It's all or nothing for BratOK. He does get us around. Nicely done. Gets one Dragoon. Dust around 1. The others, they kite back. There's still that backup shield battery in the mineral line. Yeah, putting in a lot of work. Boys are being pulled as well. They actually get pulled away. That's a lot of Marines. Oh my god. It's going to be 14 Marines here for BratOK. He's going for the Dragoons. They're trapped. They cannot kite back. Not anymore. Oh, but they get surrounded. 1 Dragoon goes down. Another shield battery just in time. And with that, yeah, Dark, he holds. Dark, he holds. He will lose maybe 1 more Dragoon. Not even. Yeah, they kite back. The shield batteries, they put in so much work. And with that, that's it. That's everything that BratOK had remaining. And again, remember, we have Dragoon range. He doesn't even care, just stutter steps in. GG gets called, and Dark will hold, will survive, and will take game number 1. Whew. GG. GG, well played. Again, really nice defense there by Dark, of course, buying time for Dragoon range, more importantly buying time for his second gateway, for the extra shield batteries as well. There were some really key and critical moments when Dark did pull the boys to make sure those shield batteries finished, and those shield batteries, they put in a lot of work there. It was insane, it was intense. I think in the end we had like 5 shield batteries, like 4 to 5 in the main base of Dark. Didn't lose any of them, did lose some probes, but again, he could afford to lose them as his opponent was completely all in, and Dark did preserve his mineral line. GG. GG, well played. Dark, he pulls off the defense, and now we are jumping into game numero 2. Let's go. Now we'll see if BratOK can bring it back. Once again, Dark is playing random. BratOK is playing Terran, and I believe BratOK is committing and is switching into SC or into Brood War Terran. Yeah, as I have to, of course, switch roles. As a reminder, typically in most StarCraft Evolution tournaments, it is loser's pick, but here in KungFu Cup, they are forced to switch from game to game. So in the bottom left-hand corner, we have not the SE2 Terran, but now the Brood War Terran player. For Team StarCom, it is BratOK. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, moving out across the map real fast and real quick, we have the SC2 Protoss player. As a reminder, he is random. He landed on a Protoss from South Korea. It is Dark. It's important to point that out just because BratOK does not know what he's playing against. I mean, it could be Zerg, it could be Terran, could be Protoss. BratOK has no idea, and Dark opens up with his own cheese, with his own proxy. How the turns have tabled. Let's go, Poppy, let's go. The turns have tabled. You cheese me, I cheese you. I'll show you how it's done, Poppy. Oh my god. So the gateways have been placed, or the gateways are going to be placed here. As a reminder, Dark, he's got 1 gate at home, 1 across the map. So this is not an all-in. I should emphasize that. Not an all-in. The way this typically works is that the initial proxy gate is going to be a zealot. Sorry, I should say the initial gateway at home is going to be the zealots, and usually we do reinforce with adepts, with stalkers, assuming we have the cybercore behind this. This is all going to slowly come together here to try to overwhelm and punish BratOK. We do see the probe scout into the main base. It's going to be a single gas opener. We have our initial Raxes. I believe 2 racks. Oh, never mind. I was going to say extra Raxes are typically more standard here, but no, it's going to be racks into factory from BratOK. Meanwhile, BratOK does scout the cybercore. The gateways are finishing up. Usually I was gonna say usually you make adepts back at home to shade across the map even faster to reinforce, but this wasn't an economic opener out of BratOK, so I'm curious to see how Dark brings this all together. We have the initial zealots being chronoed as we speak. Cybercore still not yet done. We have the E-ray block here on the low ground, being as annoying as possible. So bio army is building up. Now, this is going to be a later expansion out of BratOK, so ideally for Dark, BratOK, he throws down a CC on location, and then Dark can come in and force a cancel. That would be the ideal. Stalker on the way out of Dark. Okay, interesting. Get into his Stalker follow-ups. Again, typically it'd be Stalker across the map and Adept. Sorry, I should say Stalker being proxied and Adept from back home. But this is going to be a bit of a different variation here out of Dark. Yeah, there we go. BratOK, he is now going for that later expansion, but he runs into the Gateway Army. Expansion is delayed. We have Spider Mines on the way from BratOK. He's getting into mech. Little boys are being pulled. Vulture has arrived. The Vulture can shut this down. Just has to wait for the Spider Mines. Just has to wait. More Stalkers are arriving. I mean, true. I mean, this is the big thing. The big difference here between Brutal Terran and SC2 Terran is that there is no wall. Oh my god! A bit of an extension. Does move command in. So a lot of hits on that Stalker. The last Marines are going down. More boys being pulled. It does get another Marine. Dark is not done. He's just going to keep on pushing the Marine count. It's not really there. Down to 2 Marines. Down to 1. 1 Marine left. The Vulture doing what it can. Spider-Mine is almost done. Show us the mines. Oh. Spider-Mine is placed. Oh my god. Massive Nation takes down 2. Oh my god. Takes down 2 Stalkers. Dark takes the mine to the face. And BratOK, he's holding. BratOK, he's holding on. Throws out more Spider Mines. Tank moves in. Across the map, the eBay finally gets cancelled. Thankfully, it was a cancel, not a kill. Dark expands. And we have a game. Whew, we do have a game here. BratOK defends back at home, but what I will say is the CC is delayed. So delayed command center here for BratOK. Now getting into extra factories. Second and third factory on the way into Massive Vulture. We have ion thrusters in production as well for Vulture speed. Oh. As yeah, BratOK will clean this up. We'll trade out a Vulture for a Stalker. But overall does maintain himself. And we can get into a back and forth. Dark going to be opening up Stargate as his tech of choice. Very interesting. Going to be a Stargate follow-up. With this, of course, we can harass with Oracles. Considering the opener as well, I have a question for you. Where's the anti-air? What shoots up? The answer is nothing. All the Marines were killed. Remember, all the Marines were killed. Right now, there's no Goliaths because, I mean, there's no need for that. BratOK's now moving out, and it is so crucial that the BratOK scouts. He needs to scout, he needs to figure out what's going on. Does dive past the Stalkers. Oh, denied entry into the main. He is denied, he sees nothing. That was his moment, and he does not know that the Oracle is coming. Second Stargate, Mass Oracle? Wait, Mass Void Ray, Mass Skytoss. For now, additional Oracles on the way. We're going full hero. And there's nothing. There's nothing that shoots up. There's Vultures, there's tanks, there's spider mines, there's SCVs. That's all there is. And Darky's moving in for the kill, and I'm a little bit afraid we're about to get an insta GG. I'll be honest, like it's not gonna be pretty here. As the Oracle dives in, yep, SCVs are gonna be going down. BratOK pulls away to buy some time, and we're just smashing on more Oracles. More Oracles just being sent across the map. Again, you cannot make a Goliath without an armory, so the armory is on the way, so we're so far away from Goliath tech. The zero economy, zero mining, nothing in the main base, nothing in the natural, zero economy here for BratOK. And he's all in. He just has to send everything across the map. As that's going to be 7 SCV kills. We have Void Rays on the way. I mean, you can make whatever you want at this point. BratOK down in economy. Dark, he does race back home. I mean, BratOK, he at least forces this reaction. Honestly, this second Oracle could be across the map killing more SCVs, but Dark, he's respecting the all-in. He's respecting the army, I should say. As BratOK, he's now being forced back. Dark, now he's like, you know what, I should just attack. I should just send it. But the Goliaths have arrived. Okay, so BratOK has bought enough time. Void Ray has made it. Goliath stays zone away the Oracles. Dark is still in a better position. But BratOK, he's, you know, somewhat in this game. As we do pick up another SCV. Another SCV at the natural. Likewise, another worker in the main base as well. Getting up to, 3 SCV kills. Getting up to 3 SCVs. We have the fleet being in production. Another Oracle as well. Getting up to how many? Getting up to quintuple Oracle. Let's go. 5 Oracles on the way. That's a lot of Oracles. And extra Void Rays. BratOK moving out. Alas, there's a full wall. Somewhat of a full wall here. With all those Stalkers. So Vultures, they cannot break in. Does the stasis go off on the spider mines? How's that work? One mine is not quite like the other. Don't be suspicious. It's fine, it's fine. It's like seeing 2 opposing Widow mines borrowed next to each other, which I don't think I've ever seen before. Because why would you make Widow mines in TVT? It's crazy. Meanwhile, the quintuple Oracle does hit the natural. SC is going to be going down. Goliath's out of position. Again, Goliaths, unlike Cyclones, are very immobile. We just came to production. Goliaths are going down one after the other. They do not get an Oracle. There's no turret either. And BratOK, he turns around. Turns around, races back home. Dark just buying more time. Finally, 1 Oracle's going to go down. Gets 1, gets 2. Oh god, he just sacrifices. Yeah, he's just going to throw away the Oracles. gets 14 SCV kills. I want to see what happens here. I want to. Don't Spider-Man shoot up? They do not. They're not. Widowmines shoot up, Spider-Mines do not. Like, what I mean is, I'm curious, if we get a revelation here, does the stasis go off? On the Spider-Mines? When the Spider-Mines on borrow, does the stasis go off? I mean, we might be about to find out. Here we go. BratOK moving in. Oh, it does get him! There we go! Does trigger on the Spider-Mines! Let's go! That's BratOK. He does push in, going for the expansion. Tempest coming in. Again, we were going to Sky Toss, Tempest, Mothership. There's a couple of Goliaths. They do get the expansion at least. Spiders only hit ground. Yeah. As you mentioned, Spider-Mines only hit grounds. Just, you know, don't confuse them with Widowmines. Don't confuse them. Rocks being knocked down, BratOK trying to rotate, looking for another way in. I mean, hey, he's got a pretty robust army. Like, despite the economy being in shambles, like, that's a decent amount of Goliaths. Tempest, have to be careful not to overextend. Dark pulling back. Oh my god, another stasis goes off. Well, I was asking, does stasis hit spiders? Yeah, that's what I was. Yeah, that's. That was the whole conversation. Yes. Aye. We were making fun of the mines next to the mines. It's all good, it's all good. Yeah, we knew the Spider-Mine wouldn't hit the stasis because otherwise it would have been triggered when the stasis was being built on top of the Spider-Mines. Like, that was... That we found out instantly, right? that was not the question. But here we go. Dark pushing in. Likewise, Tempest popping off on the Goliaths. Oh. So far, workers getting caught out. Gets the entire mineral line. Aye. Tempest, they do hold their own, but that's going to be 15 probes falling. 15 workers go down. Goliaths still moving in. And what can they get done before they all go down? As that is free damage here from the Tempest. Yeah, massive slow zone on the Goliath. Charge, let's say, do dive in. One Tempest goes down. Oof. And we are down to, what, 3 Goliaths left. That's not going to be enough. With that, BratOK, he will lose his army. Dark defends, cleans everything up. We'll lose 20 probes in the process, though. Aye. And with that, I mean, Dark, he can't really counterattack. Sure, he has a bunch of Tempest, but he has no support. He has no support for the Tempest, so he's going to stay back home. We have carriers on the way, getting into +2. Okay, Tempest are moving out, so recall is available. So if Dark ever gets caught out, he can always recall back home. Speaking of, we're going into mass Goliath production. How many Goliaths do we have left? So far, 9. 9 Goliaths here for BratOK. But of course, Dark, he can make use of the terrain. Runs into the Goliaths. Guides back. Rough terrain here for BratOK. Has to pull away. Stark is pushing in. So far, still a Goliaths. Like, Goliaths, they do decent damage here, but the problem is that Tempest, they just outranged. They're just outranged. They kite back. Tempest, they should not get caught out. I say that one Tempest almost falls. Oh my god. Yeah, there we go. One Tempest does get picked off. But at what cost? At the cost of what? 8 Goliaths. Yeah, now we just overwhelm. We just overwhelm with mass Tempest. Chargers, they dive in, they get the tank. And BratOK just taking too many losses here at the same time, diving into the mineral line, going for the minerals, going for the workers. Probes are going to go down. Again, Dark, he can always recall if he needs to. He can actually recall home and then recall back across the map if he wanted to. Like, he's at the mothership. Takes down the CC, and yeah, BratOK just being outscaled here. Unfortunately, it all came down to the other game, if you recall. Speaking of recall, just recall across the map. Reinforced with a couple of zealots. Gets into the production. Yeah, BratOK is overwhelmed. GG gets called. Unfortunately, BratOK, he was not able to scout the initial Stargate. He did not know about the Oracle opener, and with that, Dark did snowball out of control. GG. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Dark, he does claim the series, does advance on to the next round. Whew. Does advance on. Just catching up in the chat. It was a mistake to send the Oracle back home. I wouldn't say so. Like, we know that he could have gotten more damage with the Oracle, but Dark, he was just afraid of the counterattack. We saw that BratOK, it was a good move from BratOK, where he didn't counterattack. He kind of like puffed up his chest and he faked a push. He was being active with his army, and because he was threatening an attack, that forced Dark back home. Even though he didn't commit, right? He didn't commit. That allowed BratOK to actually stay in the game. It allowed him to stay in the game. It allowed him to attempt to recover. He wasn't quite able to because Dark was so far ahead where he was able to take up into +2 air attack, into the Fleet Beacon, into Tempest. But it was a good move there by BratOK, and it did give him that time he needed to try to get into the game. Of course, he still wasn't quite able to stabilize, but did have a fighting chance.